Hey, it's Colin from Jeeping.Net. Today we're actually going to be installing a new gas tank skid on this TJ, or LJ I guess it is technically. Gas tank skids are something that are probably needed on pretty much all TJs, especially if you're going to do any kind of wheeling around rocks. There's two different skid plates that came factory on the TJ. The early models are quite thin. The later models are actually quite a bit better, but as you can see, this is a later model and it did get pretty dimmed up. True, the factory skid plate is plastic, plastic, but the fuel pump actually sits in the tank, so if you take a hard enough bump up underneath, you can somewhat break that fuel pump system. So this is a really good protection for your vehicle. I've installed quite a few of these on TJs in the past, and I was quite surprised when I was looking around a couple of weeks ago. Most of the options on the market are now gone. There's really only, I don't know, there's probably still a dozen options, but there used to be several dozen options. But really everyone recommends this exact same gas tank skid, and it's the SAV-G. And it's really because there's nothing wrong with it. It's reasonably priced. It's $3.99 from their site. You can get all metal ones for much cheaper. Not much cheaper, a little bit cheaper. But obviously shipping was cheaper for this one for me because it was aluminum, lighter, and lightness is a reason to get this. It's only 4 pounds more than the factory skid on the later model TJs. That's a huge reason that they go this route. I know not everyone loves aluminum, but this is 6061 T6 aluminum. That has a very high tensile strength. Yes, it's not as strong as metal, but what they've done is they've actually included a metal uppers. So you actually bolt this together, dependent on how high or low you want this gas tank skid. If you have a body lift, you can actually raise this gas tank skid up and actually get 1 more inch of clearance. There is better aluminum on the market. Not better. There's aluminum with better tensile strength, and you can get the tensile strength and all the pros and cons of that. But that metal is very hard to form around corners. This, you can see they put really nice curves around the corner. It just hugs the gas tank skid. In the back, they put a really nice round edge, which is going to be really nice. And they even stamped room here for the fuel pump sub that goes down the center, which some of the other gas tank skids don't do, especially some of the metal ones do not do that. And they have really nice drainage holes around. The welds are nice everywhere. And this actually aluminum is also nice because you can easily weld to it if you have proper gear, obviously. So they also include all the hardware that you need. So these are straps. Most gas tank options out there, skids, don't come with the straps. So this is their own strap, which is nice. And it attaches the gas tank skid a little bit differently than some of the other models. And one of the other weird things, or not weird, but they only include 2 front mounts, I guess you want to call them, while the other skids will have another one that sits over here. I think that's completely fine in this application because this is very, very thick, very strong metal, and I think you're getting away with those 2 to be fine. Plus, you leave a lot of room over here for other things not to get in the way. I did option to paint my metal parts. That's purely just because the rest of my Jeep is black underneath. I just wanted to kind of blend in a little bit better. But it does come zinc coated, so technically you don't need to paint anything here. Everything's good to go. The hardware it comes with is really good. They give you all the bolts you need. They give you fender clips. I don't know anyone else that gives you fender clips, so if you had to take out your rear fender wells, you can actually clip them right back in. They actually give you those, so those are handy to keep onto. They even give you zip ties, which is crazy. I mean, everyone has zip ties. But yeah, this is a fully complete kit. Oddly, they don't come with instructions. I see some people that they're talking about that. Kind of weird. They don't do that. They don't even have it on their website. I'm fine with not shipping instructions, but they should always have it on their website because I have a bunch of leftover bolts, and I actually do not know what those go to. So that is kind of interesting. I have sent out an email just asking them kind of what's up with that. But installing this is going to be quite straightforward. I'm not going to go into that detail because every model TJ engine is going to be slightly different. I have my evap in my back corner. I don't have a straighter valve underneath here, so how I'm going to depressurize the system, how I'm going to disconnect everything is going to be different between the years. So just refer to your factory service manual and try to have as little gas in your tank as possible when you do this. I have a half tank of gas. I haven't done this, Jesus, probably my 14th or 15th time dropping a gas tank skid on TJ, so I'm not as concerned about it. I'm just going to fly through this probably. Just make sure that you do have everything disconnected before you fully drop it. Slowly drop it to make sure that all your connections are there. I do know of some people that have broken their evap plugs because they haven't expected it to be there. Do make sure that you disconnect your gas tank fuel hose. And that's probably the hardest part because it gets kind of wedged in there. If you have a second set of hands, have someone just holding that, guiding it down. You can do it by yourself, but just make sure you have a hand free to kind of grab that. Transmission jack definitely helps. I've never done the transmission jack. I just do it with a normal big floor jack, but put a couple big pieces of wood underneath there to spread out the load, especially over the factory skid, and that sub pump kind of dimple kind of gets in the way a little bit. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and install this, and then I'm going to go on a couple runs, and you'll probably see that here in a second, and I'll come back here and kind of tell you guys what I think about this. I mean, there's nothing not to like. Everyone loves this skid.
Okay, so I don't have a whole lot of wheeling footage to share here because, as you guys know, the world's been a little crazy lately. But yeah, I do have a bit of updates here on the skid that I'll share. So first off, we'll start off with build quality. Build quality really gets 3 stars on this. It's top notch. It's one of the best products I've probably ever installed on a vehicle. Everything fits perfectly. It's well designed. The correct materials are used, and you can tell it's built by people that use the product. As for the install, it's really as simple as installing a fuel pump, so you can kind of gauge that into if you think it's an easy install or not. The skid itself installs onto the tank very well. It's a really tight fit, and that shows how good of an engineered product it is. The only issue, and the reason why I had to gin it 1 star, is that with not including the instructions, the install is quite straightforward, but that strap system is unique to their product. They come with several different bolts in mounting locations, and without the instructions, it took me a couple attempts to get it to fasten down correctly. So I do have to give them a couple, like 1 little point away for that. But other than that, I'm quite happy with the install of this product. For use, I mean, this is a 3 or more. I can't even give more stars. The extra inch of clearance is amazing. I did a section of trail the week I'd done previously with the factory skid, where I hit probably about a dozen times. This time I didn't hit once. It was a huge improvement. Since it's higher, I didn't really even get to test out how strong the skid is because I'm not hitting. I did drop off a couple of rocks and did kind of hit the skid pretty hard, and I can barely tell on the skid where the dent was, and where before I would have definitely have left a big dent. I'm also loving the fact that this basically added no weight to the Jeep, pretty much hardly at all. So this is just clearly all bonuses for usage. I know not everyone's pros of aluminum. I did think I'd see a gouge in there from one rock I kind of pulled over, and I don't see anything. It's still holding up pretty good. I've only been on probably about 6 or 7 wheeling chips. 3 of those were more difficult trails, but yeah, I would say this is a really good product from the user's point of view. For value, yeah, this is a 3 star as well. It is one of the more expensive options out there. There are more that are more expensive, but I think that this is a really good value product, even though there's cheaper options. Because the weight to cost ratio is so good on this product, I think it's actually the best value product out there in the market. And as far as final recommendation, it's a 5 star without a doubt. It's a perfect product. I would just don't even look around for other products. This is the one I would buy. I am including a link to this product in the write-up down below here. I'm no affiliation with Savvy. I don't get any sponsorship off this. I'm not getting any money for this link. Just go buy from them. Don't even bother mentioning our name. And yeah, I definitely recommend this product all day. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching. Stay tuned for some more stuff coming up here in the next little bit. Thanks a lot, guys.